What, from the D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Hey, welcome. Good evening. And if you haven't noticed it, some of us are noticing that there's an overlay. So as you watch our game tonight, you can check out everyone's character sheet in real time, in case you want a little more information on what we have on the screen. For example, on the screen under me, it says Rob/Lantern Noir Dungeon Master, he/him, and I will be your host and your guide this evening on yet another journey into a mystery provided by a book that once was held in the mysterious and often spoken of Candlekeep Fortress. I am joined tonight by some amazing players, some great gamers, some great content creators, and I am just lucky to have two things happen. One is for all five of us to six of us to sit down together to play some D&D, and that my computer is continuing to limp along. So I apologize for the late start. I I'm working on it. We'll see if we can't get it up and running. What I'd love to do is give each of my players a chance to to talk about what's been going on this week with themselves and introduce their characters to everybody. So, quick round, we'll go around the table and introduce yourself and who you are bringing to our game table this evening. Linarius, are you ready to kick us off?
I'm Linarius. I have a photo obsession. I stream Kingdom Hearts, horror, and Zelda content. And then my character Jansen is a haunted monk elf who's like a non-traditional elf, and I am obsessed with talking to my demons that nobody else can see. And I do rash things and cause problems for everybody else while getting distracted most of the time.
Too many windows. Hi everyone, I'm Jessie, or Enceladus. I stream science and technology content mostly, so machine learning, space, programming, and then just video games sometimes. And I am playing Mir, your not so friendly, not really neighborhood bard, who doesn't like people, and well, maybe one person, and recently, I guess I've picked a bard college for Mir, and looks like we're really gonna lean into the just likes to scare the heck out of people. So really excited for tonight though, and I'm so glad we got this working because all the effort to put on all this blue makeup and stuff. Really glad that it worked out to have stream. So hats off to our wonderful DM for troubleshooting things last minute.
Hello, I'm Tiffany, and I am playing Shona, your neighborhood librarian barbarian. I'm all for finding you and helping you find the book you need, but if you file it wrong, we're going to have a chat and you're not going to like it. Not much going on this week. Played in a different game on Thursday. That was fun. We survived, so that's always good. See how this one goes.
Hi everybody, I'm Barely Molly or Bear, whatever you're feeling. And I stream over on my channel. I do art streams for the most part, sometimes games if my wrist starts acting up, but mostly art lately, hopefully. And then we've also been doing me and Mega Dave have been doing Star Trek The Next Generation watch parties every weekend over on our Discord. So you guys should totally join for that. And then during this campaign, I play Ember, who's a Fire Ganassi rogue. And since our level 3 I've picked the Arcane Trickster, so I got a couple more tricks up these sleeves for today, hopefully. But yeah, I'm super excited to play. I love Wednesdays.
Hi, I'm Wally Nelson. I'm a fan and one of the mods for tonight. I've been playing D&D for the past 30-odd years, and on my off hours I work a 9-to-5 job. Currently, I'm running 7 people through the Candlekeep Mysteries. I'm about a week or so behind Lantern Noir, so I've been shamelessly stealing everything cool that he does. I hope...
Yeah. I absolutely wanted to make sure I included Wooly Nelson in our roundup of the cast because he has absolutely the last couple of weeks been the fifth player at the table. So any questions you have about what's going on in the game, you can throw them in chat and either one of us will answer it when we get to a mini break, or Wooly's been really good about being just on top of that and keeping you in the loop. So math teacher, there's no excuse for not following along now. You can literally lean over and whisper to a friend. And it's totally cool. So I'm glad we got him in here in our round robin of introductions. And then also in chat, I posted everybody's socials. So feel free to please give follows and likes to everyone that's there because, well, that's kind of part of the fun of doing all this is to build this community of players, gamers, and everything else. Are we ready to throw some dice at the table and watch our characters die so the DM can feel some satisfaction on the evening?
You can try.
I can try. Is that how that works? Oh, and
If we die, we're out, right?
usually for about 45 minutes, and then we come up with some then excuse as to why a random new adventurer wanders up and joins the party.
Okay.
So, oh, and thank you for that. That actually segues perfectly for those that are new. There are a couple ways you can participate if you want to help out with the game. I did dial back a few of the settings from last week. It's a little harder to spend your channel points to allow for a reroll, but it is in there. And then every 100 bits that are cheered go into the Book of Fate, and every 100 pages in the Book of Fate, the players can decide they want to reroll something and see if they can twist their fate into a better result. I think that's going to kind of help balance a little bit. So there's still a chance for you to participate, be part of the game, help these amazing people survive, and still keep things moving along. By the way, hang around. At some point, if we can get enough people going, I have stickers now. And that's all I'm saying about the stickers for now, but we have Lantern Noir D20 stickers, which will come up later on. I am so proud. I'm so excited to have, I feel like I'm a real streamer now. I can give stuff away. So we'll take care of that. And things are off and rolling at an alarming pace. So let's kind of recap where we have been while the hype train continues to roll along. And I can just kind of give some backstory over the alert sounds. Your first adventure was one where you stepped into a magical portal that carried you through to a pocket dimension containing a very well-apportioned mansion. You were able the party was able to discover the clues to reopen the door and escape, which worked out fairly well because the Avowed of Candlekeep were desperate for people to help investigate books that were attacking people. That led you to the city of Baldur's Gate, where you discovered a pack of jackal wares who had been selling these monstrous books to the unsuspecting. They promised to stop in exchange for some kind words, and they offered you, as part of their negotiations, a treasure map. And that would be the map that you have set out to explore. Now, I'll put it up here. It's on the Jamboard. I'll put it up here on I'll get that pop-up out of the way. And it's now up on the screen. Evil beware. And you can see the map has all kinds of fun little twists and turns on it, including a little bit of a rhyme here at the bottom. Follow the trail to the Hand in the Horn, past Three Tree Hill over River Warren, to the Worm's Mark in the foggy moors, west of there, the treasure's yours. And with that in hand, you set out to explore and discover what exactly was at the end of this path. What questions do you have for the DM before we start in on the proper narrative?
Are we even on this map at all, or are we like off in the distance somewhere?
You are, yet as of now, you have not yet discovered your way to the town of Witchway.
Oh. Okay.
But you have on some reliable sources, some good directions how you might find it.
Did we get our horse and cart back?
Yes. Remember,
Okay.
they found it. They recovered
brought
it
it
for
to
you
us.
from the brain fart, from the market where you had left it parked. And you do have a horse and wagon that you can use to either sit in while you travel. You can keep your gear in. You can store the dead bodies in. Whatever you feel is necessary. But it would seem from the way the map is laid out, your first stop is indeed to find your way to which way? All right, if we're good, then let's get rolling. And thank you to Ear for the support to get us kicked off, and to the anonymous cheerer. I think we're in good shape. We're starting off well, but we'll see how the night goes. We might burn some of these pages. It takes several, after getting some directions and consulting with a few other maps, you've been able to find your way to the onto a road that you have been told will lead you to the town of Whichway. The last person to offer you directions was an older gentleman tending to some sheep, and he seemed very curious as to why you'd want to go there. But he didn't put up a lot of an argument. Figured if 4 people with a horse and wagon want to head somewhere, well, by no means was he going to say they could not. As you travel closer and closer, you believe, to where you were told to find it, and you watch as the sun continues its path across the sky in time, you move further and further away from civilization. The farms look less maintained. The road picks up more ruts. The fence lines become less and less noticeable, until you start to realize you've moved into an area that's no longer being maintained by any sense of civilization. You probably have about another half an hour when you start to make note of the fact that the road is less of a road and more of perhaps a suggestion of wagon ruts than anything else. The outskirts of Whichway are not exactly what one would consider outskirts of a town, as much as the thoughts of what a town may have been once upon a time. That thatched roofs have caved in long ago. Rocks show their wear. The signpost no longer has a sign on it, just 2 broken bits of wood at its base. As you come closer and closer into the town, you begin to realize how much this town is no longer of any way, let alone that of a witch. Up past the town center, you can hear voices speaking in a strange guttural tone that you do not immediately recognize. What is your intention?
I want to check the 2 pieces of wood under the sign and see if they actually have a town name on them.
Okay. Creep over and take a look. One of them does identify this as an arrow. One arrow says which way on it, and another arrow identifies a directions to a town called let's see, what is it? Pinecrest.
Okay. We're on the right track.
Which way did the town go? Just looking around.
Trying to assess by the sign.
They're perhaps into town.
Town.
You've traveled about the right amount of time. If the old man's advice was correct, you should be, well, here.
How
This
about
is a
our
town?
intent is maybe a meal? And to figure out why we're here, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe they have a tavern. We could grab a drink.
Okay. So
Or
just
we'll pass through to the Hand and Horn, which
pass
looks
through
like
town. Okay.
this place.
I was thinking maybe if they do have a tavern, we could like ask the people like the best the best way to hand and horn.
Get the local knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Plus there's beer.
And there's beer.
If there's beer. You steer the cart southwest, as it were, deeper into town, which again implies you're heading in the right direction. And as you move more into what's left of the town, you begin to notice that the windows no longer have glass in them. There are no roofs intact anywhere that you've seen yet. And the town, aside from the voices up past the town center, is otherwise quiet.
So there's no real signs of life. Does it look like it's been this way for a while?
Best guess, it's probably been several years since any civilization was found in this town.
What's several? Like 4 or 5 or like 20?
Less than 20, more than 5.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Pause and look in some of the houses as we go by and see what they. I mean, does it look like people just disappear in a hurry, or does it look like stuff's been cleared out?
Oh, that's a good observation to make. You push on one of the wooden doors and it swings open easily. It's unlocked. The house that you've investigated is empty of everything except the large wooden furniture. So there's still a table. There's still a bed frame. There's still a couple of stools, one of which has been kicked over. The cupboards are hang open. But there's no sign of any valuables, no sign of any creature comforts. If they left in a hurry, they packed before they went, or whatever they left behind has already been picked clean by scavengers.
There's no like abandoned town store or like tavern that we could maybe like look in to see if there's like a flyer or something.
As you work your way closer to the center of town, do me a huge favor. Can you... Well, nope, never mind. You're fine. As you move closer to the town center, you can spot where there's a well dug right in the middle of a fairly large open air market. And as you move in there to look around, you immediately stop hearing the voices.
We were hearing voices?
Yes.
Oh.
But we stop just when we step up to the well?
As you come into the marketplace, so as you kind of guide the horse in there and you clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, you notice you no longer can hear the guttural voices in that language you don't recognize. They no longer... Well, if you were trying to pick out what the voices were speaking in, you can't because they've stopped.
Back away from the market, back the way we came, a couple of steps, and see if I can hear them again.
No, it's quiet now.
Oh. Well, that's strange.
Should we, and this is very difficult for me to say because I'm very interested, but are we barreling through this or are we investigating this town?
I'm good for either. I think we could probably. I'm a little curious about the sounds. I could go either way.
I say investigate.
Yeah, I'm with Jansen on this one.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna hop off the back of the cart or the side. I don't know where I'm sitting. I'm gonna hop off the cart.
Am I still in it?
You tell me.
Yeah, I think I was. No, I was walking. I think.
I'm probably walking. I think I'll walk on one side.
Check the
Okay.
well.
Check the well. That's a logical thing to do. The well is still functional. There's still water down there. There's no rope or bucket anymore, as it has rotted away with time. You can see that one of these buildings, framing the center of town, is it well made? Well, actually, it's more of a cistern. But, sorry, couldn't resist that one. My bad. one of these buildings that borders this town center is a general store. The crisscrossed iron over the main window has been smashed in, and it looks like it's been thoroughly ransacked at this point. Anything of value was carried off ages ago.
Is there a way to check if there are like tracks on the ground that are fresh besides our own?
That would be a great thing to do. That sounds like the kind of thing that would involve throwing some dice at the table.
Can I investigate?
In particular, that does indeed sound like an investigation roll.
First roll of the night.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, it was a 12 and I have a +6, so 18.
18. Yes, as you look around, you notice that there are tracks coming and going from the well. They are not humanoid. Well, I take that. They are not human or similar. They're not like boot prints, but they're actually large, perhaps lizard based or other webbed foot with a definite clear claw on it.
And they look fresh?
I would say yes. Probably within the last couple hours.
Does it look like they came out of the well? Or just that they went to it?
They went
maybe
to
get a
it.
Drink? Okay.
There's tracks you can see, probably 2 or 3 individuals coming and going.
How big?
The prints are a little bit larger than about the length of a human foot, but about 3 times as wide.
Okay.
So if you had to guess about the size of this, it would probably be a little bit taller than a tall human. So somewhere in the 6 to 7 foot range.
But a lizard.
Yeah.
Well,
Who wants to go diving?
Well, I was thinking I was going to go into the general store and see if there's a bucket. We've got some rope. Let's tie a bucket and rope there, because we should probably water the horse anyways. And go wander in the general store.
if they're swimming around in that water, though.
Yeah, but he's traveled a long way. Probably anything's good. Let's see what we can get.
All right. You head back to the cart and find they actually find one of those collapsible canvas buckets.
Oh,
you can
fantastic.
stretch out and tie in some rope and throw down there. It's good for traveling. Handy little thing. And as you head back up to the well, you immediately hear a shout from the north, which is, "No, really, really, I swear I won't yell if you take my gag off, and warn them."
I'm not going to turn around, but I'm going to walk backwards kind of towards the sound.
On that note, you hear this first you hear the sound of him being cut off suddenly, and then you hear a blood-curdling scream as a 7-foot-tall lizard-like humanoid comes leaping off the roof of the general store and into the town center with you.
I'm not close enough to just take a reaction and hit him with the bucket, am I?
No.
Not a rope. Oh.
Nice try.
Yes, it's a trap. That is
And you said we do see a lizard?
yes.
How far away is the lizard?
He's like barreling down on you as 3 more come charging up the various alleys, with 2 smaller ones flanking one of them. If you check the, well, maybe you don't. Oh, because I haven't pushed the go button. Y'all need to roll initiative.
Oh, that's...
Yep.
All right.
How do we do?
Oh,
Finally, maybe.
it was on 1 and then it went to 17.
I got a...
Ah!
I rolled a 7.
That's okay. Don't
Don't
think
anyone.
of this as an opportunity to see what everyone else does before you have to commit. That's all that is.
That's good. I like
You
it.
get to observe and then see how you need to save us.
Boink. Okay.
Chances are Ember's going to be dead by the end of her first round, so...
No, not on my
Usually-
watch.
You don't usually die until about round 3, do you?
Yeah.
So we have one lizard here coming up and off the general store. We're going to call that one number 1. And he's flanked by 2 smaller things that are yapping almost like draconic dogs. L2
Aw, I
and
like dogs.
L4. So this is where they're all coming from. Now you've got your wagon with the horse. And if I remember right, Show was getting water. So there's Show. And then we have Mir, Ember, and Jensen. Everyone still has hit points. It's okay, man. It's okay. So, Mir,
Yes.
what you up to?
Okay, so I'm kind of getting my bearings here. The 3 circles. Can you tell me what those are again in the upper left-hand corner of our
Oh, those are little tables at a little corner cafe.
tables? Okay, and then right, we've got. Can you? I'm sorry to be a little pedantic. Can you give like a scale, like about how big this clearing is?
How
I
big
have
this
a
clearing
cube
is?
I would like to place a cube of death.
Let's go 40 feet from the well out in every direction. So an 80-foot square.
Okay, so don't think I can then possibly use my 15 square foot cube to get 2 of the L's in there, but maybe the cluster of the 3
Absolutely.
right there. Okay, and I can keep my teammates out of it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So let's do that. So that is going to be Thunderwave.
Oh, and I'm going to
And
take advantage of this
15
quick
I don't know
moment.
what V/S means, but that verbal/somatic. I'm not
Yep.
sure what that means, but
That means your
think I just
verbal
yell
means
at
you are
them.
making noise. You are stating something, and semantic means you have to move your hands. So you are literally
Gotcha.
reaching into the air, grabbing arcane energies with your innate knowledge of such things as a bard, and
Oh, yeah.
blasting it out there as you scream something appropriate.
probably profane. All right.
We'll go with that.
So
We'll go with that.
I doesn't look like there's nothing to click for hitting. I think I just
I
hit
think
the
I think they
damage?
just get their save. So give me one quick second to update your hit points on the fly because we didn't do that before we started.
no
Excuse
worries.
me. So I'll just do that in our first combat round. I'll do a quick update to everyone's hit points when their turn comes up. I don't think you're going to die in the first combat round. And this is, you said you used the Thunder Wave.
Yes, please.
So Thunder Wave. And on a failed save, they take. So you go ahead and roll that click the 2d8 damage.
It is a 3d8 now. I have 2nd level.
Oh, you're using a second level slot for it.
What does that mean? I don't know. I have 2 slots for 2nd level and 4 slots for 1st level.
Just roll with it for now. We'll worry about it another time.
Which one?
You can do the second if you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3d6. Or 3d8.
Stompy. Oh, well, one of those was not so pleasant, but the rest were nice.
That's a significant amount of damage. So they do get their con save. If they make it, they take half and they don't get pushed. If they don't, yeah, then they go flying. So let's see how they do. So that's this little dude. Oh yeah, he's not no. And his buddy, also very not. And then this one, he might. Wow, no, he doesn't. So he definitely takes the full damage. And is blasted back through. So here's what happens. These 3 come leaping off into a little like tight wedge formation before they start charging across the field towards you. The 2 yappity things, which maybe after upon reflection you think, well, that's what kobolds look like, are about to charge in with their spears, led by this lizard man in the middle, and gets run smack into a wall of force that Mir throws in their direction. The kobolds just go up against the walls on either side of the window of the general store and slump, the lizard man goes all the way through into the general store itself, and you can hear a series of crashes as it careens through different shelves. Heck of an opening. Yeah, that guy, he's dead. So that means we're up to Ember.
Okay. I know that we had talked about this. Maybe if it breaks, we don't have to use it anymore. But I was kind of hoping that I could try using my new cantrip green flame blade on the tip of a crossbow bolt.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I don't think that'll break anything too badly.
And firing at it is the big guy. The big guy's still up, right?
The one that got knocked back into the window?
You said there was like one big bad guy and then the other ones were small?
For that pack, the lizard men are all about the same size.
Oh, okay. Well then I guess I'll attack the closest lizard guy to me.
Okay. That would be 2. You can see him pretty clearly.
Okay.
Because one is currently back inside the building and will be climbing their way out of it.
Oh,
eventually.
can I hide first, or is this too many things to do in one turn?
Don't you have that as like your super duper I'm awesome, I can hide whenever I want thing?
I do, but I don't know if I can still, if you'll allow me to still cast a cantrip and fire and hide at the same time.
Casting time is 1 action. The cantrip is the same as your firing.
Okay.
So that would be your action.
Okay.
So yeah, you get your bonus action to hide.
Okay,
Nice.
so I'm gonna hide first, then as a bonus action, and then try to get that sweet sneak attack on top of all this.
Yep.
Okay. So do I do the crossbow and then
Just do your attack. Yeah, you just get the bonus from the green thingy.
okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get the sneak attack because I don't think anybody's within reach of it yet.
Okay. It
But,
was only an 11.
which, yeah, it does. That's a whole lot of talking for you meast.
Okay.
Although I do have some bad news. If you look again at the spell, now that we've talked about it, Green Flame Blade, you brandish the weapon and make a melee attack.
Okay.
So, yeah. If you stab someone with the hand crossbow, that counts.
Okay. It's a dagger spell then.
It's a
Okay.
dagger spell, which we can change up when we get to a break if that changes things significantly. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't want you to feel guilt or remorse about that particular decision. There will be other decisions tonight you will feel guilt and remorse for. Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right. Am I still hidden or no?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
We'll see what happens when the time comes. Tiffany, what's Shona doing?
Okay. So it's gonna move. I'm gonna rage.
Didn't we establish that you should rage all the time?
Yeah. I'm gonna rage.
It's one of my favorite
Gonna
things.
rage. And then I would very much. I would like. Well, I'm trying to figure out which one's nearest me, but I think I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna pull a javelin, and I'm gonna throw it at probably L4 over here.
Okay.
And so I want to pull the javelin and attack him, and then I want to move towards L3.
Got it. Okay. So you're going to step out into the opening and kind of get everyone's attention,
Yeah.
throwing that javelin as you go. I can dig it. Give me an attack roll.
Oh, 10.
Oh, it snarls.
Wait.
Is it like just leans
Did
to
I
the
rage
side?
already or not? I think I raged. Does that... That doesn't give me a bonus to rage. Oh, no, it doesn't give me a bonus to attack. It gives me a bonus to melee.
Yes. But you are now, are you going all the way or are you just getting out into position? Do you want to be in L3's face or do you want to?
I want to be in L3's face.
Okay, you are officially in L3's face. I am totally down with that.
And I don't think I can take an opportunity attack.
If they leave combat with you,
Okay.
you don't get an attack when you charge. They would.
So okay, and I only get the 1 attack, so I think that's all I can do.
Yeah, third level's not bad, but it's not everything yet. This dude is dead. Okay. 3 is definitely going to take its ire out on you. And it's going to come charging across over and focus his attention on Show. And I think have nothing to show for his efforts. So he'll do that. And then he's going to swing with his shield. He's going to try to catch you up on that and is ineffective. As you duck, as Show ducks and weaves underneath the slash from the club and then the counter attack with the shield. 4 is going to come after. Did I lose track of who was where? Well, that was 3. 4 comes charging across, and actually, yeah, he's going to come over and play with Show as well. So Show can pick up 2 of them. I'm fine with that. So we'll try that again. See if I do better this time. The club and the shield, and nada. As Show holds her ground against 2 of these lizard things as they swing and do next to nothing. And that then takes us to Jansen. Lenarius, what is Jansen up to?
So 3 and 4 over with Show.
Mm-hmm.
1 is dead.
One's
right?
picking themselves up.
Okay. Where is 1? I don't see it.
1 is back in the tavern.
Okay.
You can go finish them off. They're stepping out of the tavern for their action to get back into the fight. Decisions.
I got those new things. Let's see. So hard. All right. You're gonna say that's gonna be really cool in 5 levels, but can I like? No, I probably can't.
Just pitch it. I'll tell you how it'll work.
I was gonna say, can I use my short bow and like pull it and then like throw a dagger after I do it?
No,
No, I didn't
that's
think
2
so.
attacks.
Dang it.
You're not there yet. But you can always tap into the energies in the short bow and do something cool with it.
Or I could do something bad to me.
Yeah, that's the downside. Every time you tap that energy, as long as those you're being haunted, the spirits might not like you tapping the energy of that bow.
Not about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my short bow and I'm going to shoot it at 4.
At 4. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Give me an attack roll. You can
And
also
force.
charge into hand-to-hand. Your flurry of blows is kind of a scary thing.
It is? I thought it was like a lame-o nothing.
No. That's your bread and butter. I mean, if you want to hold off an action before you head in there. But that's a
So I could do that and then rush into the flurry of bows?
next
Or
round.
Okay.
Next round.
Okay.
Heck, you could even Misty Step in.
Well, that's a good idea.
That would be even more dramatic.
5.
You got to hit first, though.
Oh, yeah. That's better. 19.
That'll definitely hit.
Boom.
5 damage to that one. That was to 4.
Yes.
Okay, 4 takes 5 damage. As the arrow lodges into it, their back, and they kind of spin around and hiss angrily in your general direction. You think you just got challenged or proposed to. It's hard to tell. You don't really speak this language. It's entirely possible they sound the same. See also Klingons. 2 is coming after Mir. Not a happy camper. So he's going to come charging across over there and try to blindside Mir. Since they just cast this way too cool spell. It's time to take them down a step. So first comes the club, and then comes the shield, and mirrors, and
Oh no.
and Mir gets hit with both
Oh crap.
for a total of 13.
Oh ow. Okay. That happened.
That happened.
That happened.
Well, before I forget, Linarius, what's Jensen's new hit point total?
21.
Thank you. Let me update. I forgot to do it when your turn came up. I don't want to forget again, because I don't want you to die because of bad math.
It's okay. I don't think the math teacher would be too happy about that.
Molly, what's Ember's new hit point total?
Oh, sorry, 24. I was muted.
Okay, cool, got you. And okay, so get that one, and then show's new hit points are 23.
32.
32. Okay, cool. Get those updated. Now I feel better about everything.
Did number wrong.
Yeah. My other game has been leveling much slower, so I haven't had to update this as often. Okay, so that's the first round of combat. We loop back to Mir's action. What's going on?
This lizard person is right up in my face, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So can I stab him with both my dagger and rapier since he's right there?
Yep.
And use my psychic blades.
Psychic blades?
Yes.
That's a new Bardy thing, isn't it?
It's my bard school of scary people, whispers, I think.
Probably.
Get to be
says,
called the
when
Gavard
you
School of
hit a
Scary
creature-
People.
When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one use of your bardic inspiration to deal an extra 2d6 damage to that target.
Yeah. All right, yeah, sure. Rip them up.
Yeah. All right, so I have no idea how to do this.
Okay, you're going to make your
so-
2 attack rolls, one for your rapier and one for your dagger.
Oh no, I have to hit first.
You got to
Hold
hit
on.
first,
Okay.
though.
Yeah, ignore that, please. Yes, please ignore that. So
Okay,
here's
we'll
the
ignore
first
that.
hit. Oh, 10. I don't know if that's gonna hit.
That's not going to hit.
Okay.
Do you want to re-roll it?
Oh, neither one is gonna
The other
hit.
one's going to hit.
What do you say, party? Might I re-roll this?
Yes.
Do
This
it.
seems like a big deal. I'd re-roll.
Okay, let's try this again.
Okay, roll those again.
Oh, for. Okay, so my rapier hit for 19. 19.
Hit with a
which-
19. All right, sweet. So it fights back. Its shield slashes back and forth. It throws the club in front of you until finally you knock the club out of the way with the dagger and dive in with the rapier for 10 base damage from the rapier and an additional.
What do I roll now?
You
2d6. So
2d6.
2d6s?
Yep. You can make a custom roll for that, and I think your character sheet might have
7.
7. That'll work. So 17 damage in one shot.
I'm cranky. This person just I'm hurting. This lizard, yes, is done.
Oh, that was
Out of my face.
that was the wrong one.
All right.
17. And it falls back and actually drops to a knee for a moment and just glares up at you. And now you're pretty sure it swore at you. Like that definitely sounded like profanity that was being used. Possibly in reference to your mother. As it
Bring
kind of
it
like
on.
limps itself back up a bit.
Snap.
Well, again, you're there's a lot of like trying to pick up subtext here. It's very confusing when you don't speak the language. Ember.
Okay. Okay. So is L2 dead?
2 is not dead,
Okay.
but they're like not far from. They are bloodied.
Okay.
But they're
Then
go ahead.
L1 is also bloodied, right?
Right. That's the one that went back tumbling through the shop. What's left of it.
Okay. I guess I'm going to try to do what I did the first time, but I'm going to take out my dagger this time. I'm going to cast green flame blade on the dagger, so it glows with some green flame.
Which way are you going? 2 or 1?
The one closest to me, which I think is the one with mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2. So I'll run up next to mirror and go, hiya! And I'm going to stab L2. And hopefully I get sneak attack because they're engaged with mirror.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do all kinds of nasties right now.
I do. It's so much bonus. I love it. Here's a question. Can I green flame blade both daggers? Or just one at a time. That's fine.
We all watch as the D20 comes to stop on a
natural 1.
Womp womp. Okay, well, you have your backup dagger.
It's true. I will back up dagger.
Backup dagger? See what happens?
Mm.
Oh, no, I don't like that sound. What did it land on?
I don't know if that's enough. 15?
15? No, they're not that tough. 15 is going to hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and throw all of that dice for damage. So, dagger base.
Okay, dagger base is a 3.
Sneak attack.
Okay. Ooh, I get another dice for this now. Ooh, that was a pretty good roll. Okay. So, sneak attack of 8.
So that's up to 11. And then you use the spell, your cantrip, to tack on an additional...
It's... Okay, I don't know what to roll for this.
Oh, this is if it leaps to another target. And there's nobody within 5 feet, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought it just did, like, fire damage, too.
No, but if someone's within 5 feet, the energy from the leaps to another one.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's fine. It's still 11 damage. Because don't you think it should do fire damage?
You would think. Let's see if I can get this to reset. Nox wanted you to reroll something, and I missed it because my rewards queue isn't showing. Hopefully this will lock in. I might need someone to keep an eye on that with me so I can be sure to give you guys credit for that stuff.
Oh. Is that the first dagger?
Yeah, but hang on to it for later. I'm just going to put that into your bank.
That sounds good.
Because it is very dead.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's a lot of paperwork to go. And it dies.
Yeah.
And it dies. Well, I'll throw that one in the bank then for you for laters.
Cool.
And that one goes down. As Ember successfully leaps to Mir's defense and stabs something in the back for her. Thud.
Just standing there like, did you see what I did, Mir? Did you see what I did?
Probably like bleeding and like trying my best to give a nod of approval while like just trying to stay upright.
I don't like that my rewards queue's not showing. Okay. Show, Tiffany, what's Show doing? As they've got themselves surrounded.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull the flail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attack with the flail, but I also want to punch the one as a bonus action. Well, I can use 2-weapon fighting. So I'm going to pull the flail and I'm going to pull the hand axe.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that 2-weapon fighting. I'm going to hit one at L3 and one at L4. So probably hand axe. I'm not sure which one's closer. Hand axe the closer one and throw the flail for the L4. Looks a little farther.
Yeah, so you're going to split your attacks between them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So makes sense, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, but All right, flail first. Woohoo! 23 to hit.
Okay, 21 is totally going to hit.
23.
23, yeah. So 7 damage to...
But I think, does it also take +2 melee damage because of the raging?
I think so.
I think so. So I don't know that that's included.
Let me take a quick peek. Let me peek and I can tell you. I think. Let's see here. Damage from the flail, right?
Yeah.
So +3 from your strength, +1 from the +1 on the flail. So yeah, there's no bonus from your rage.
Okay.
So it's 2 more
So
on top of
9.
that?
Yeah.
So that's 9. Okay, and that's to the one that's already wounded, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're not going to go down, but they're looking pretty close to it.
Okay.
They're
Then I hit the other one with the hand axe.
okay.
15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Now the second attack I don't think gets the damage from rage. I think it's just the
Right.
first one.
So base damage. And we'll take that 6.
6.
That's solid.
Oh.
And it's their turn.
Uh-oh.
You smash the one with the flail, come around, put the axe into the other, and realize as it takes a step back and looks a little bit winded that it's really not happy with you. And it's going to bring its club down on top of you first. And as you stagger back from the impact, it's actually going to bite down on your arm and start to try to shake your flail loose.
I don't get to use an opportunity attack or a reaction, right?
Right. This is standard combat. He's not coming and going or doing anything fancy like that. It's a good thing we updated your hit points because that's between the 2 hits, that's a total of 14 damage. Fun fact, at first level, that would have killed you.
Yes. Let go. Get off. So what was it? 14 you said?
Yeah. The other one that is about to drop is going to... it kind of likes its odds. It's going to hold its ground. And it's going to use its club and then counter and then follow up with the shield. It's only going to hit with the shield for 6.
Okay.
So for those watching on the sidelines, half damage. Am I supposed to be applying half damage to you,
Oh,
Miss? I'm raging.
maybe. I'm new to this.
Resistance to
Right.
bludgeoning piercing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me give you some hit points back.
Yay!
Let me give you some hit
Yeah, I
points
feel like
back.
Don't
like it was
kill our
supposed to be useless.
librarian.
All right.
I
There we
actually
go.
remember everything I get from raging and use it properly. But
Well, that's where our mod comes in because I'm still keeping track of all your characters too.
Yeah.
And the last one who steps out shakes it off and sees the nearest thing it can smash, and that's going to be Jansen. And it's taking them down. It literally drops its club and shield and just comes running at them barehanded.
Misty step.
Okay. Here's how we're going to do this. It's going to see if it can get you before you step away. But this will look really cool if it works out. So first, let's see if it hits. It's going to hit.
Yeah.
And it wraps its arms around you and starts to kind of crunch down. And then in a flash, bam, you just slide, just poof, right out of its hands. Where would you like to reappear? Plus, it's your action next, so it all works out perfectly.
Yeah, so 4 is where I was.
Yeah, you were right where the L1 is. So you were
Okay.
there. You're not there now.
Yep.
Where would you like to be?
I want to be where Shona is.
So like right there.
Everyone hides behind the barbarian.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoop. And that's where Jansen pops up. And it's their action.
So the two guys are like to my left and my right, right?
Correct.
I want to take out both of my short swords and just stab them both in the heart.
You can do that, but not with your short swords. You can do it with your bare hands.
Why can't I do it with my short swords?
Because you only get one. Well, wait, you do get 2 weapon fighting. So you could do that. You could split your attacks. Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Go for it.
Do-do-do-do.
So
Ooh,
the one on your right is not good.
Net one.
And the one on your left,
Ooh.
come on, come on.
My God. What? What?
The dice really hate us tonight.
They're not doing that bad. They're liking me.
Oh yeah, they're liking
We
you.
do.
All right, yours got you back on that. We'll allow that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Ooh.
Like skittering off those ribs, huh?
Book of Fate.
Do it.
Do it.
Why not?
The team seems to
It
support
looks
that.
so cool.
Whoa.
23.
All right, there
Yeah.
we go. Give me damage for one of them.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
3 damage.
oh my gosh.
Well, you heard it. A little. Kinda.
I think I just made it mad.
I think I made it angry. Okay, we'll go after the one that's almost ready to drop. Just give you a bit of an out. He died. That's you've taken out a few of them, but you are starting to wonder if you're going to pull this off. What's Mir doing?
Okay.
Okay.
I've been like reading, all my spells and stuff, trying to think. Okay. So let me see here. L1, so I've got L1 and L2. No, L2 is gone, right? So no, yes, L2 is gone.
L2 is gone.
Okay, all right, just
Yeah. Sorry. Get him off the board. You're down to,
No,
there's 3 of them left and there's 4 of you. You technically have them outnumbered, but they're holding their
in
own
that
against you.
case, They certainly are. What else can I do? I guess I'll just jump in with both my dagger and rapier again and hope I get luckier than I got last time.
Okay.
At I guess L1.
The one that came up on the other, the one that at one time was bear hugging Jansen.
Well, hold on. Am I?
Yep.
No, L1 is over by me and Ember, right?
Yeah, Jansen was there until a moment ago.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And then
all
they
right,
misty
yes.
stepped it across the courtyard.
Yes. Okay. All right. So yes, that one, the huggy one,
Okay.
both dagger and rapier in the chest. Let's see if I can actually hit. All right. Well, no, that definitely doesn't hit.
But
And that does.
that will.
The rapier. All right. So damage 7.
7. And you drop him.
Okay.
You get in there and just like, he looks up at you, you look at him, and then he looks down at your rapier sticking out of his chest. And he sort of like slides backwards off of it with this weird sickening sound, leaving this sticky green blood behind.
Ew.
What's our rogue doing?
Okay, so that one's down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just 3 and 4 left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there one that's less hurt than the other?
Yes. One is hurt and one is bloodied.
Okay. How are they within 5 feet of each other?
Sure.
Okay. Do I have enough movement to get to them?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to again cast Green Flame Blade.
And
And
go
I will,
charging across the courtyard.
yep, and I will pop up from behind Show and dagger.
Dagger, dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Roger, roger.
Are you kidding?
And
2
A
for
2.
a 6.
Offhand dagger?
Offhand dagger.
This will be better. That seems to be your pattern. One bad, one good.
It's a 16 plus 4, so it's a 20 to hit.
Ah, yep, that'll hit.
Okay.
So base damage plus your sneak attack.
Base damage is 1d4 plus 2.
So that's 4. Nice.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
then do I get sneak attack too?
You do, because he's engaged.
Okay. Oh, 7.
7. All right.
And then it says that any other enemy within 5 feet, the flame damage, or it jumps to them and damages them by 2 burning damage or fire damage.
Okay, yep. So you hit the D8 damage to the one next to it as the green flames leap out. It says 0. Did you roll it?
It won't let me roll. It just says that it's a fixed amount. It only does 2 damage at this for some weird reason, because I'll hit it and it does nothing.
Oh, at 5th level.
At 5th level, I think I can roll more.
Equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually not nearly as impressive as you think it would be.
I know. That's kind of not great right now, is it?
It's kind of meh. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right. Shona's up.
All right. Flail one and hand axe the other again, trying not to hit my friends.
While you rage.
Yeah. Trying to rage in a delicate way.
Oh, can I bonus action hide behind Show again?
Oh,
You jump on my shoulder.
hang on.
Totally good with that.
Okay. I'm losing track of all the things I'm keeping track of. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Okay, we got you covered. Go ahead, Chip.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with flail first. 20
That'll
to
hit.
hit. Sadly not natural, but
And then your hand axe?
the hand axe to hit is 12.
Roll it again. You have a re-roll that I forgot to apply for. I was watching
Aw.
over here and I got distracted because we were figuring out the green blade flame. And I
You.
I
Oh,
miffed
much
it.
better. That's a 17.
You don't even need to roll damage on these. Because between the two of them, they were close enough. So it's impossible for you not to finish them off from the damage from
Cool.
those. And we got
Man,
it.
you look so cool, Jensen. I know you could like appear and and then got another one.
What?
It's like, and then I'm like, oh, you guys are cool. Sorry. Jensen, like, you appeared, and you, like, you stabbed them both, and, like, Ember's, like, this is cool. That's fun. Now what do you want to do?
That's everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Turn around.
Look
See if
around.
Mir's all right. Everybody okay?
There's some dead lizard folk lying there in the courtyard. And there's you.
Hurting, that's for sure.
How hurt are you?
I think pretty hurt.
Oh, pretty hurt. We've got a healing potion, don't we?
I can.
Do we have healing?
Well, can I use my own spells out of combat?
Yeah.
Right? So I can, rather than us wasting the potion, I could probably just heal myself. Let's see. Spells. How much am I hurt? Oh, I'm really hurting.
You're really hurt.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, so you would do probably a cure wounds.
Probably. Yeah.
I would probably cast it at first level.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
Save your
Oh, freaking D&D Beyond hates me. All right. Well,
Oh no.
I
Reroll
healed
it?
for 3. Yeah, I might.
Yeah, that's a terrible
Yeah.
roll.
Definitely re-roll that.
I just rolled another 1, so it really doesn't want me to heal. So, you know what? Okay, Aaron Tier's coming in with
Yeah,
another
yeah.
reroll.
The Book of Fate is continuing to fill, so you've got enough that you can get away
I'm on
with
D&D
rerolling that.
Beyond. A 3, so at least that's 5.
That's better. You're back into double digits.
That's good. All right.
That's a perk.
Yes.
That's a perk. You take a moment to take stock of the court of this marketplace, what once was perhaps a major center of activity for the town, and it remains unusually quiet. Having returned to that eerie lack of energy that it should have. You have a few moments to collect your wits as Mir tends to their wounds, and then the silence is broken again. Right, so it sounds like you're either you're coming back here to kill me, or you beat him. In which case, I think it's appropriate I receive some credit for getting this gag down enough to warn you.
Where's this voice coming from?
Yeah.
From the road, kind of off to the west, out of the center of town. I'm sorry, off to the east.
What?
You guys were coming from the northeast. You were going southwest. So kind of like that road, sort of between the broken down buildings.
Yeah, can I sneak my way over there so not to alert any more lizard men if they're nearby?
Sure.
I was gonna go over with you if you want. I think we can sneak all the way through. Have to roll sneak, or I could just
Yeah, I
talk
would love to
over
see
to
some
and
stealth
distract
rolls.
him.
Okay. Oh, I have good stealth. No, I don't. Because I rolled garbage.
Oh.
I'm literally just stomping, I guess.
Okay, you work your way over there, and you can see, as you come around the corner, you can see a bit of they've cleared out what remains of a building. There's a fire that's not burning. It's been tended well. It's kicked down. There's several boxes that have been stacked as seats. You can see weapon maintenance equipment, sacks of loot, and there's a gentleman tied sitting with his back against one of the barrels. And you can see where he's pushed a cloth gag out of his mouth, and he glances over and cracks a grin. Goes, "Oh, good, you found me. If you could just, I don't know, untie me before more come back, I would find it no small kindness on your part."
Of course, we'd be happy to. Are there a lot more around here?
And before he can, he goes, "Well, that seems like the kind of information that one should be trading, not simply handing off. So, how about
See, you're still tied up, so...
As I go to untie him, I'm going to stop and step back from untying him. Really?
I'm just saying, it feels...
I'm just saying you're not in a position to really bargain right now.
True.
I mean, we could go.
And you wouldn't know what you were finding if you did. But
right.
I can tell
We
you.
wouldn't.
So,
You don't know what we're looking for, though.
well, maybe you're looking for more of those lizard men.
I'm not.
Well, Do you want to know if there are more in the area? Get these things untied already, please.
How about we bring them back to the cart tied up show?
Yeah, I
Let's
say
pick him up and
don't
sling him over my shoulder.
do it.
Well, this is not exactly what I had planned. And as you walk into the courtyard, we'll find out what you do with your new captive. And when we get back after a short 5-minute break. So we come back in, and we went on break for a short little stretch. The party has rescued
For now.
a gentleman in a leather doublet with a bright blue shirt. His red hair is coiffed perfectly, and his mustache is trimmed as though almost by magic with precision. And he's being carried into the market over Show's shoulder. Yes. Well, it would be great if you could perhaps see in your heart to perhaps remove the bonds. What exactly are you hoping to get from me now?
We'll see.
I'm going to set him down carefully in the cart. It'd be nice.
I mean, this image of like Show just the back of the neck, just huge, just pick very easy, like it's I don't know, a light sack, just dropping.
The mom kitten grabs him by the back of the neck and scruff.
Exactly. And they just go limp because they're like, uh-oh.
I'm in trouble now.
Yes, well, if you could just perhaps, it'd be much more comfortable. And as I said, I'd be happy to share with you what I've come to learn of these creatures.
I'll untie him. I'll cut his bonds. Are there more that we should be looking for?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm quite happy to tell you. And indeed, yes, there are several. There's at least 2 more parties that are currently out hunting as we speak. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I have some things to recover. If you'll give me but a moment.
Wait. Before you go, we untied you for this information. Where are these other 2 parties?
Well, having heard the combat earlier, I'm sure that you are quite capable of doing 2 things at once. Come with me and I will explain. I do think it would be best if I was perhaps armed to be of assistance.
Should I lead the way?
Can I do an insight check if this guy's leading me into a trap or not?
Well, he's heading right back to where you found him. But sure, roll your insight.
I don't have great insight.
I think we've established that.
Can assist you?
It wasn't a good roll.
Well, that depends on your point of view.
Rob loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those kinds of rolls. That is a spot-on spell there. As near as you can tell, he is absolutely 110% being honest with you. Welcome aboard, Raven. Glad to have you hanging out with us with everybody else. Roll for outsight. No, that's not how that works. Does Jansen, Linarius, is Jansen going to try to read this guy? Or are you just watching this unfold as your spirits go, you shouldn't trust him?
As bad as my spirits are, okay, every time they have told me not to trust somebody, it has been true. Every single time.
Joe, get him.
So
Gonna reach out and grab it.
go for it. Like,
I just need to get my weapons and armor.
no.
How about you tell me where they are? I'll come bring them back to you. But we don't know you. We've been led into traps before.
Oh, for the love of all that is, are you? Fine.
You obviously got captured. It's possible.
Well,
Be safe.
Yes, because I wasn't expecting to stumble in. When one goes out treasure hunting, you do not necessarily expect to run into an entire clan out here. I expected, of course, the odd 1 or 2 kobolds or such, but I definitely was not anticipating a full-on, like, I don't know, there's like a queen, and there's a second, and there's a lieutenant, and there's a couple of people who are looking like they're going to take over. I'm telling you, that one with the bit of the scar here, he's got a real good shot at taking over, provided he wasn't one of the ones that you've already killed. I haven't had time to look at the bodies yet. But as I said, there's at least 8 more in 2 groups of 4 that are currently out there. So it might be best if I go get my stuff, I put it on, and then we skedaddle.
No, I don't like that idea.
I'll go with him while he gets his stuff.
Okay.
Ember and I will take him to his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got sending message. If something happens, I'll message you guys.
He heads back over where you guys originally found him, and he casts kind of a somewhat annoyed look at Sho as he heads over to one of the boxes, pushes the lid off, rifles through it for a moment, pulls out a leather jerkin which he straps on, pulls out a rapier, pulls the blade out, sighs, slides it in, straps it onto his waist. And then he, with a great flourish, pulls it out and salutes the two of you in turn. And then snaps his fingers, and you watch as the blade cleans itself.
Ooh, nice trick.
That's cool.
I'll give it to you. That was fancy.
That's the way that should look. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, And he kind of he's looking at himself in the rapier blade. He goes, yes, there we go. That's better. Yes. Okay, good. Slides it into the scabbard.
What is your name, sir?
Oh, a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Gerald Breakspear.
Gerald Breakspear. I'm Sho.
Show
My associate Ember.
Oh, yes, of course.
Ilharan.
Pleasure
Of
to
the
meet you.
libraries.
Pleasure to meet you. And he turns to Ember and he bows very deeply. And then offers his hand out to you.
To me?
Yes.
Offers his hand.
Yes.
I grab it and shake it. Like really rough, really hard. Nice to meet you, Gerald.
There's a moment where you can see he's unprepared for that, and then as quickly as you make the decision to shake his hand rigorously and without any sense of etiquette or decorum, he completely snaps into mode, and his fingers are tight on yours, and he is sharing that same rigorous shake with you in a way that does not insult, but inspires you to go, wow, he's coming to me on my terms.
So nice firm handshake you got there, Gerald.
Well, one must learn multiple arts, and even though perhaps a bit of dabbling in the arcane one establishes the fineries of touch, one must also understand the firmness of touch.
Sure.
Now, where were you off to?
A quest.
Yeah,
Where
let's
are you
head back
treasure
to our
hunting?
cart. Do you mind
Yes.
if we walk and talk? Let's walk and talk, Jerry.
Gerald.
Right, Jerry. So
Gerald.
we're actually
I'm just gonna
heading
lean over.
towards.
She'll do this to you all throughout the adventure.
Oh, I don't think she will.
It'll
So-
be fun.
We are headed to the Hand and the Horn next.
Oh, and why on earth would you be heading in that direction?
Well, I mean, we just met, Jerry. I can't go sharing all my secrets with you, but we're just headed that way. We got a little tip on some, something good going on. So
Really? And if you don't mind me asking, do you happen to know where the Hand and Horn are?
I mean, we have a little map. So
a map.
it's west of here, a little southwesty.
I'd like to insight check him while he's talking with Ember.
Go for it.
Oh, just got off the page. Okay.
Sure, we'll throw another,
Oh.
another insight
Never
check
mind.
there. Never mind.
Ooh. Well, I have a -1 to insight, but I did roll a 10.
You rolled a 10. Seems to be legitimately interested.
What line of work are you in, Jerry?
I would consider myself a finder of lost items.
Did you say treasure hunter a minute ago?
I may have.
What are you out? What brings you out this way?
All alone.
Well, now, to be fair, I did not set out alone. But perhaps it's best not to speak of such things, as I am in such gay company. I would hate to sour it with the poor fates of my previous comrades.
Fates that maybe perhaps you bestow?
My lady.
I'm just saying, you know, we've all been in poor company before. I'm just trying to check to make sure that you're not going to off us when we're looking the wrong way, Jerry.
And what have I done to arouse such suspicion?
Well,
I stand here and I share with you the fact that I've lost two of my lover died on this quest.
well, you didn't
And
share
you
that
mock me?
information.
I didn't think it necessary to bring us down to such lows. Perhaps it's best we do travel separately. I hope you find your way to the hand and the horn.
Daryl,
I wish
we
you
are sorry to
great
have
luck.
offended
Nope.
you.
I think perhaps it is best for me to go my way.
I'm
Try to
sorry to hear that. We were
persuade
just
him
beginning
to
to enjoy your company.
Stay? Can I try to persuade him to stay?
You can try.
I believe that would be a persuasion check.
This does involve talking to people. This is not mere strong suit.
You can do it, Mir.
Oh man. Mir and I have a lot in common. All right.
Well, I could try persuasion if you want.
Yeah,
How's Jensen's persuasion?
I have +4.
Oh, never mind.
not very
You got this.
Yeah, she's
You
actually
got
pretty good at it.
this.
Of the strong arming variety, but
Put the die on the table and see what happens.
all right.
Make him frightened of Ember. Yeah, well,
Never mind. You know what? Whenever I try to be a bard, it fails. So never mind.
It's
I'll
a good
just
thing
go
you're,
back to staring.
but you're good at being a scary bard.
a scary bard, but I
Yeah.
should have tried intimidation then, not persuasion. My bad.
I'm gonna lean over to Ember. Why don't you kind of apologize?
All right, listen, I did not mean to bring up your dead lover or anything of the sort. You've just been very dodgy with our questions, and the fact that when we went to untie you, you felt a little like you were trying to get something from us. We have been ambushed before, Gerald.
On that point, I would like to add into the record that I warned you of the ambush as best I could, given the circumstances. I was a captive, about to be killed, perhaps even consumed.
So you could say we did you we saved your life. We did you a huge favor.
Perhaps
And I
could call it-
apologize for my crassness. How about that?
Crass.
I appreciate your apology. Perhaps we should start again.
Sure.
And he bows deeply and puts his hand out to you gently. Gerald Breakspear, at your service. And you are?
Ember.
A pleasure. His hand is hovering there.
Yep. I'm gonna. Oh boy, oh boy. I will shake his hand. Not trying to hurt him, but assertive.
Give me a dex save.
Oh god.
Okay. Ugh, why do the dice absolutely hate me? An 11.
Okay. You go to shake his hand, and as you clench his with yours, he actually he twists his body, throws his weight, and for a second you feel like you're about to fall forward, and instead find yourself sliding into a pose where you are almost in a curtsy. As he raises your hand to his lips, gently kisses it, and rises back up.
Ooh, I hate that. I'm going to pull my hand away quite abruptly, and I'm going to walk over to Mir, and I'm going to whisper to Show, I'm gonna hurt this man if you don't start talking to him.
I'm gonna glower. And if necessary, I can do some intimidation, but I feel like it's a little early for that, but the heck was that? That was some I don't like that. This guy needs
That
to,
was uncalled for.
yeah.
I know you probably feel you were being polite. It was a bit rude to her. Culture doesn't like that. So let's... Dragon. So, this is the group?
Pleasure to meet you all.
What were you, out here hunting?
Well, it
Sorry
just
to
so
hear
happened-
about your, two compatriots. Very, very sorry to hear about that.
As happens. We were, again, we were on our own treasure hunt, as it were.
Were you also heading to the,
No,
Hand and
actually,
Horn?
we had, recently come from there. Which is why, again, if you wish to find it, perhaps we should do our best to stay in each other's good graces for the time being.
While they're chatting, can I start looting the bodies?
Did you find the treasure you were looking for?
We found some opportunities. But again, there are quite a few dangerous things about. So our efforts were not wholly successful.
Where did you end up going before the Hand and Horn?
Oh, we've been around. I'm not sure what every local landmark is called.
What is the treasure you were looking for?
Well, we'd heard some rumors that there was a wizard tower out this way, not far from the, what is it called? Something about red dragons.
The Scorch of the Red Worm?
Oh, that does sound quite right. Do you perhaps know of it?
We've heard.
Hmm.
You pick things up when you're traveling.
We do. We do. But perhaps I'd be happy to travel with you to the Hand and the Horn, at least. Help you find that landmark if that is indeed on your way.
If you can behave yourself. That would be very generous of you.
How have I misbehaved?
We'll discuss as we go. How's that? Come. Which direction? Let's get out of here before the hunting parties come back.
We would head to the west. I think we can head straight out of town, actually.
Okay. We don't see anything else on the way out of town that's worth looking into, probably.
Did I find anything on the lizard bodies?
Ooh, yeah.
The important questions must be answered.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. But I will look. They just have their clubs and spike shields. The kobolds had spears. They're not really weapons that you necessarily would need to add to your arsenal unless you have a particular desire to change your paradigm.
But could they be sold?
Not
Or are
for
they like tribal weapons?
Yeah,
Like
they're-
not.
You could probably sell one or two as interesting artifacts to the right buyer.
I'll throw them in the back of the cart.
You can always use it for something later. I'm going to pick up my javelin on our way out of town.
Okay. Fair enough. And you head out of town. As you start to get towards the edge of town, you start to hear the sounds of one of the hunting parties making its way back.
We probably should have thrown those bodies down the well.
Nah, I really would just need to give... possibly. I wish we had a broom to, like, brush our footprints away or something.
We can try to cover your tracks if you want to go slow.
No, I think we'd rather get out of town.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me do a little bit of tweaking here. All right. You start to make your way to out of town, and by nightfall, you have reached That works. You have reached a rock formation that clearly is the hand and the horn. A pair of, it matches exactly what it looks like on the map. A tall structure, a tall stone formation that resembles a hand, and that resembles some kind of a horn. And you can kind of make out a bit of a trail that heads off to the south east. It is coming close to nightfall. Do you intend to continue through the night, or do you want to make camp?
If we make camp and go to rest, Mir, you'd be able to get
Yeah.
some more hit points back, right?
I think we should rest.
Might be a nice idea.
The thing that's most disappointing about this so far is the amount of places that we thought could get a drink. The Hand and Horn is clearly a tavern
A
name.
drinking horn. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel cheated. I'm feeling deprived.
Pretty sure I've got a beer in my pack. I'll hand it to Mir. Because I can't.
That's why I was less resilient in that fight. Just you know.
Hadn't had your beer ration.
Exactly.
So, Gerald, I think, much as you might not want to talk about it, I think we might have to figure out how your compatriots passed. If they were on the adventure, or they may be done in a way we need to be aware of.
We'd like to be prepared. You know, and if we can learn from the mistakes of your previous expedition, we might have a different outcome, which I think would be beneficial to everyone.
I do appreciate that point of view, and I suppose I can bring myself to speak of such things if I have to. Let's get a fire going.
Sounds good.
Should one of us stay watch?
I
'Cause
can take
only
first
need-
watch if you want.
Oh, I only need 2 hours of meditation time, so I can do
Cool.
6 hours, and somebody just want to take the last 2, or
I
the
can
first
take the last
2.
two. Or which one do you want? You want me to why don't we take? I'll take the first 2 and talk to Gerald a bit. How's that sound?
Okay, that works. I'll take the last 2.
Okay. Okay. You make camp and have a chance to get some rations, and you will get a long rest out of this, which seems reasonable. Gerald relates the story. Got it. He sits back in against his pack and kind of stares into the fire. It had been, we'd heard of something out this way. And, well, we were feeling confident. We made camp, not too far, actually, from where we are now. And there were only we 3. So sleeping in shifts was not easy to get through a whole night. And we were confident that we had done enough scouting that we could put the fire down and get a solid night's rest. I woke up to hear the scream of our priest, Brother Ayers, a wonderful man, practically a brother in a literal sense. And whatever it was, I didn't get a great look at it in the shadows. It just dragged him off into the swamp. We made chase. It was myself and Bree. And there wasn't a hesitation on either of our parts. Less so on hers. She was off before I even had a chance to strap my blade to my side or consider how best to prepare my magics. But she was hellfire embodied in a woman. We never found Brother Air. We got probably a mile from where we made camp, and that's when we got beset upon by, would you believe of all things, giant crocs. They came up out of the swamp. I mean, we made a good fight. Breeze just I remember she fought so hard, and then one of them pulled her under, and that was that.
So take a beer out and hand it to him. I'm so sorry.
I'm still not even sure how I escaped, to be quite honest. I thought there were more of them, and you would think, but... But we all knew that when we signed up. We all knew traveling through the wilds is not one to be taken lightly. And I hope you can forgive my outburst earlier.
Of course. You've been through a lot.
So,
How did you get captured?
I'm not entirely sure. Except for the fact that, well, there are a lot more of them than me, and perhaps discretion is the better part of valor. And, you know, I did travel for a time with a dragonborn, so I thought perhaps a parley would be passable. Turns out the lizard folk tongue is significantly different than any known dragon language. I think. Either that or I'm really bad at it.
Did you end up making it pass it like their sibling or something?
It's not impossible. But it would have been completely inadvertent. I was simply trying to barter for safe passage. What else would you like to know?
What can you tell us about the lands around here? Where did you encounter these creatures? You said swamps.
Yes, probably west of where we currently are now. South of the Hand and Horn. There's some lowlands near the hills there.
Okay. Before the wood bridge and the tree hill?
Yes. Yes, well before those. Now, how did you all come out this way? I mean, we are taking on faith that I should trust the four of you and not sleep with one eye opened and a dagger in my hand.
Of course. It's only fair.
And he leans over to Mir. So, your story, my friend?
Don't have much of a story. I just go from place to place.
Well, then.
Cheers.
You know how it is. You find a map, you think, let's try that.
I like going where I've never been before. And that's about it.
No story hype, I can tell. So, map, you say? Do you mind if I look at it?
Do we mind?
Don't let him hold it. Can you hold it?
I don't actually know who has the map, so which of us is holding the map?
I think I had the
Doesn't
book
Ember?
that had the map in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tucked inside the book.
So I will open the book,
Mhm.
but I have a firm grip on the book.
A family heirloom?
Something like that.
Well, that's understandable. And kind of looks over the map. I think I actually know some of these landmarks.
See, we're headed here, and I'm going to point to this. Based on the poem, I am assuming that we're headed to this like tower with the ravens on it next to this Scorch of the Red Worm thing. So I'm just gonna point to that. Do you know an easier way than winding through all of this to get to here?
Well, I personally would prefer to avoid the swamps. I think they're a bit they're not where I want to be.
The swamps are directly south of us right now?
Yes, I think perhaps following the path is the safest route.
All right.
But I could be mistaken.
I'm also very curious. Have you been to this 3-tree hill? I feel like nothing is named on a map unless it's got something good on it.
I think we will see that, and when we pass that area,
Okay.
I think we'll be able to pick it out. It seems like it's a landmark. And
I'm wondering what this treasure is.
You didn't tell me your story. He looks at Ember.
Mine?
I mean, there has to be more to you than simply, well, one who loots the dead.
I mean, that sums up about 75% of it.
Yes, but that's the 70% that everyone sees.
Well, I come from the definition of nowhere. Until I found these guys. I basically did loot the dead.
Well, and it seems you've made quite the turn. They're very fortunate to have you.
I think it's the other way around.
Isn't that how all good relationships work?
Aww.
You know, Jerry, I feel like we did get off on the wrong foot. Maybe we do understand each other a little better than I previously thought.
As it is. Well, which shift am I taking?
None.
Oh, that's right. I'm sleeping with one eye open so that you don't stick a knife in my back.
Or the other way around. You know, Jerry.
Yeah. Basic adventurer sleep tactics, right?
Got it. Am I being tied up too just for everyone's collective safety?
Nah.
Oh, no. It's
I think I can run faster than you, Jerry.
Fair enough.
I'm just kidding with you. If you would like to take a shift, you can, but I think one of us will also stay up with you, just until we get a couple more nights into the adventure.
Well, I'm up now. You're welcome to stay up for a couple hours with me if you want.
Oh, I'm quite prepared to get my sleep.
Well, then by all means.
He glances at Jansen, and he tries to catch her eye before he leans back on his pack, and he just kind of shrugs and nods a few times. And then he closes his eyes and looks like he tries to go to sleep.
Wherever he goes to sleep, Ember is going to position herself in between him and Mir.
Fair enough. You take your turns overnight. You can go ahead and do a quick check on the long rest button as you get through the night without any actual interesting events.
Yes. Ish.
Which is a good feeling considering where you are. There are a few moments on each of the watches where you were fairly confident you heard something moving, but it never really developed into anything. Just the usual sounds of the wilderness, sounds of a swamp, sounds of just nowhere, as it were. And the sun comes up on a rather relatively drizzly, ugly, gray morning. It's threatening to rain, but it doesn't seem to be willing to commit all the way there. But it's trying. Anything you want to do before you break camp?
It's not really anything. Did we explore the Hand and Horn just to see why they bothered to make it a landmark on a map other than its look?
You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go explore it a little bit.
Okay.
Morning.
Is the whole party going?
I'll go with her. If everyone else is awake at this point.
I'll keep an eye on the
Gerald.
yeah.
I'm not a morning person.
But I have message, so if something goes wrong, and I'll
I'm
pull out
probably
a
in a
copper
bad
wire,
mood.
and I'll just say, I learned a fancy new trick, and I'll like walk away a few feet, and then I'm gonna cast a message, and I'm gonna go, hey Mir, can you hear what I'm saying right now? I learned how to do this just a little bit a while ago. You can reply to this message. I'm gonna pop out from the bush and look at Mir.
I mean, can I reply? Do I have to have a message to reply?
No, you can reply.
Hi. That. Are you in my head? That's impressive. Okay. Cool. I kind of feel bad for Gerald being stuck with the two anti-mourning cranky people in the party.
He does not want to look at me like.
Jansen and I are just sitting there like, do not say a word. Do not interact with us. Do not look our way. Like, no.
He
How long before Gerald like takes off after us?
not that long. Not that long.
Dear.
Like there's that moment where you guys are off and walking. He's like, I could stay and get to know you. Ember, if you could just wait up a moment.
And I'll stop and wait. Yep.
And he catches up to you. The three of you explore the area around the Hand and the Horn, and for the most part, you find yourselves just in a rocky outcrop that's fairly distinctive and makes a nice landmark for a map.
Thought there might be magic runes or a cavern with some treasure or something. But it was worth a shot.
I mean, I have the spell detect magic, but I think it's it casts 2 spell slots to use, which are all of them for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. If there's nothing that looks like it's got anything, I say we save it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be one of your. It would be one of your 2 to cast it, and it's
okay.
probably not going to get you what you're hoping to get.
Yeah.
So.
Well, nice view.
Gerald does pause at one point and plays. We probably should make haste back to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
And he points. You can see where there have been other lizard folk tracks have come through here. And he actually kind of feels through it. This actually feels terrifyingly fresh.
Yeah, maybe we should
Not
grab the cart
again.
and
Then onto the road and past the swamp.
In fact,
I'll pull back out my copper wire. Hey, Mir, we're headed back. I know we only left a minute ago, but we're headed back now. Okay, you can reply to this, but you don't have to. Okay, bye.
And I think like Mir's probably sitting there like, not sure. Do I think it? Do I say it? Like,
That's a good question. Is Ember saying this out loud?
Oh yeah.
What are you
how
doing?
does this work?
It's so I can whisper a message within 120 feet to a creature of my choice, and they can reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Thanks.
You are at this moment. Well, you can do it when you get within 120 feet of camp, but the realization we should go back happened further than 120 feet out. Just so
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I probably spoke to nobody.
it's like half an hour. Half an hour of walking and exploring,
Okay.
and then coming back again, which should be plenty of time for the rest of the party to kind of wake themselves up and have some hot brown morning potion, and get down to what they need to get down.
Okay.
Hot brown caffeinated beer.
Yeah, we could do that too. If that's your jam, that's an option. You can totally go there. But yeah, you meet back up and you continue on the road. The good news is that the trail is relatively easy to follow. As you make your way along the path, as best you can, it's not hard to spot a large hill that rises up opposite everything else, and with 3 very significant trees growing atop it.
Do you think anything's buried between those 3 trees, like in the center?
Oh, it'd be damn disappointing if there wasn't, I suppose. It does seem to beg for a story, doesn't it?
It really does.
Oh, something tragic, don't you think?
Yeah.
Young lovers from warring houses
Or like an ancient hero from time.
who agree that they will have a duel because he can't stand to live without her and she can't stand defying her father, but she loves him too much to walk away.
I'm gonna walk up to Mira and just be like, you should just be making some music after this. The story is getting good.
I think we should climb this hill and find out what's at the center of these trees. I'm just saying we're not on a timetable here.
Huh? Sounds fine.
I think I'm absolutely well. Perhaps we should split up.
I'm not good with that. I don't think.
I'm seeing there are concerns with this expedition, but I have to agree with the Lady Ember that we should at least investigate it.
Insight check.
Sure.
Actually, Jensen's insight check is better, right? Let's sidle up to Jensen. Go, I don't trust him.
Yeah, I can do that. Right?
You could totally do that.
Oh.
Don't ask me to roll today. Oh no! Just don't. I rolled a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3.
Oh, I was hoping at least you were getting.
You got
getting
my
better.
dice.
You
Jeez.
do at
I
least
did.
for 4 pretty soon. Law of averages.
Jeez. I've literally rolled something over a 4 once this whole game.
Oh
It has been a rough night so far.
I
I blame my computer
no! There you go.
because I'm blaming everything else that goes wrong tonight on it. Piece of shit. Anyway, no, they didn't. But so yeah, he's totally on the level. You have no reason not to trust him other than the voices in your head keep telling you not to. Of course, they also tell you that you're a horrible judge of character and that you probably have picked horrible traveling companions too who will murder you in your sleep. So it all kind of comes down to how much you want to trust your instincts.
Is this an actual hill, or is it? It looks like a cliff on the image.
It's exaggerated there. It's more just a
Okay.
tall hill.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, then that's not bad. We don't have to like climb.
Oh gosh, no, it's just
Okay.
it's a hike.
Oh,
So
well then,
give us-
yeah. Let's just.
Good view of the surrounding area too. See
Yeah.
how far we are from this bridge.
Yeah.
I'll jog up. If does it look like it's more than 120 feet away? Judging distance,
Yes.
I have pretty high intelligence.
120 feet is only like 40 yards. That's like less than half a
Okay.
football field.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd be a pretty good distance. If the party stays back at the road, you and Gerald would be a pretty good distance off.
All right. Well. I still want to go. I still want to find out what's there. I'll be back.
I'll make sure nothing befalls her. You have my word on my honor and that of my family.
I mean, you guys aren't moving forward, are you?
No.
Okay.
Really? No. Okay.
And he heads up the hill with you. When you get to the top, he looks. Gerald looks at Ember. So, why do you fake it so much?
Excuse me?
You're bright. You're incredibly intelligent. You're magically talented. So why do you keep messing my name up? It's not that you can't remember it.
Maybe I think Jerry suits you better.
Perhaps. But I don't think that's the reason, is it? It's a shame. A woman of your talent should never feel ashamed of it or hide it. She should be proud. She should be herself. Like perhaps the young lady that fought here at one time. But what do I know?
Wait, you know a young lady who fought here?
Well, wasn't that the story we had concocted together?
I just said a hero of time.
No, perhaps.
I don't know who that was. I imagine a very handsome blonde elf. Green hood.
I can see that. And who would he have? Why would he have come up here? I do feel the star-crossed lovers whose houses are completely at war by itself is too base of a story.
Maybe he just thought it was the right thing to do. This entire time, by the way, I am like very like any sudden movements from him, I'm grabbing a dagger. I still don't necessarily trust Jerry. But that's on the inside. That's all on the inside.
I don't trust him. I don't like him.
And after a few more exchanges, you can head back down the.
Oh, there's nothing there. Like if we investigate.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be. It's so far, the best that the two of you could come up with are your own colorful stories of what may have happened there.
Well, this was a disappointment.
Yes, well, as it may be. And you work your way back down to rejoin the party.
Yep.
And you can continue on your way. Jensen can hear the voices in her head as you start to walk again.
Oh no.
You shouldn't have
As soon
trusted
as I
them.
get in 120 feet. Oh, sorry.
Go.
I was just gonna say, as soon as I get into 120 feet, we're coming back. Please help me. This is so awkward. Help me.
Who is that Tamir?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, wait. So have they rejoined the party, or
Not yet.
I'll start walking in that direction, and like when I get within verbal distance, just be like, I need your help. Can you come help me with this thing? Ember, please, can you help me with this thing?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Just.
And off they go.
Yep.
He makes no sound when you go off. And he rejoins the rest of the group. Jensen's demons are just not sure what to make of this. And one distinct voice on the one side of your head is repeating, "Don't trust him, don't trust him, don't trust him, don't trust him." And the other voice is not as kind. They won't need you if they like him. He has a blade. Yeah, he got captured, but he was outnumbered. He seems competent. If they like him, they won't need you anymore.
How close is he?
He's walking next to the wagon.
Is he within 20 feet?
Oh, totally.
I'm gonna Misty step up behind him and hold my dagger to his throat.
He pauses. Very slowly puts his hands up. What did I do?
Empty your pockets.
Excuse me?
I said empty your pockets.
I will quite happily. Out of curiosity, what's everyone else doing while Jensen is mugging this guy?
Start to like sort of come back into the area, just on standby for a minute.
Standing by the horse, trying to figure out what
I'll
she's
kind
doing.
of saunter back up to Jerry, my buddy Jerry. Just say, she gets these feelings, these voices who tell her, or them, when something's not on the up and up. Usually there's a reason for the dagger coming out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, and he starts to empty out his pockets of various things. He's got, a pouch of some coins that he picked back up again. There's a cameo on a bit of ribbon that he pulls out and sets on the side of the wagon. Some personal camping gears, flint and steel. What exactly are you hoping to find on me?
Do you have a weapon?
I'm not sure this is necessary.
Yes, I have my blade. Should I remove that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all.
He unbuckles his belt and holds the rapier out to the side. Could you
Are my demons quiet now?
Oh no.
Oh man.
No, the actually one was like this is good. You should kill him now before
I'm
they
not
turn
gonna
you
kill
out.
him. Shut up, demons.
Did Jansen say that out loud?
Please say.
Yes, I said that out loud.
Okay, I'm gonna lower his arms down and kind of step between them and go,
Yeah.
no, Jansen, they've lied to you before. Let's just keep a very close, and I'm turning away from him, eyes wide at Jansen, a very close eye on the situation. And should the need arise, but I think things are better if we work cooperatively for just a minute.
Fine, but I want to keep his dagger.
I turn to Jerry. Do you need the dagger?
Well, I could. Yes, absolutely. I think I do.
You can have it back later.
I'm not entirely comfortable as to understand what I've done.
I think we should
I
all
haven't
just
let-
take a breath.
Jensen, let's give him the dagger back for now. You can keep an eye on
So
him.
just
They're turning on you. You can see they're taking his side.
How close am I to her? Can I hear her demons? Because I know if
No.
I'm close enough, I can. But
I'm the
I don't
only
think we
one
can
who
ever
can
Okay.
hear the demons.
Okay.
They've the two voices are now unified.
Oh no.
They're siding against you.
Oh no.
Let's walk and talk this out, shall we? Seems to be a favorite thing.
Let's get some
Yeah,
distance.
while
the
he's
bridge.
putting his
So,
gear
yeah.
back on and in his pockets, maybe we just pull Jansen to the side and have a conversation that he can't hear. Is that all right?
I'll stay with him, and I don't know. I'll be like, "Do you need any help packing your stuff up?"
Yeah. You okay, Jensen?
No, I'm.
My demons told me he's very bad, and that you guys are gonna try to choose him, but then he's gonna kill you all.
Oh, there's something off with him. We're not
Yeah,
sure
he's
what.
very
There's definitely something
slimy.
off.
Mm-hmm.
See, but I think you're just lying to me because you
No.
like him better than you like me.
Listen, Jansen,
You have
I have
much
never
better
lied
hair.
to you, and I've lied to a lot of people, and I haven't lied to you. I agree that I think that he has an ulterior motive, but at the same time, I think he knows the. I honestly, if you want to take my advice, I think he's leading us there so that we can off whatever's there, and he's gonna take whatever good stuff's there and try to kill us. Is my thought. So I
Okay, but
think
fine, but,
leave him in the lurch when we get there.
I get to walk right behind him the whole time.
I actually think that's a great idea.
Fine.
But maybe if the demons say to kill him before he pulls his weapon, that's not the best idea. Wait till he attacks first.
Fine.
I think that's good. And
Why
Jansen,
don't you say anything?
we would never choose anybody over you.
Okay, fine.
He can't do this double stabby like you can.
Okay, pokey.
He can't do the poof and appear and the stab.
I will Misty step all over his face.
And you will. Those boots were made for Misty stepping.
Okay, fine. But I'm walking behind him the whole time.
I think that's
And
a
my
good
hand is
idea.
gonna stay on my short sword.
I think that's a good idea too.
Fine. Can I at least keep his money? I'm just kidding. He can have it for now.
All right. Yeah, for now. I agree though, but for now. All right. We'll join back up.
Everything settled?
Yep.
Yeah.
I get to live?
For
Well,
now.
at least for now. How about to the wood bridge? Let's go.
Sounds like a plan. As you make your way on, he is not going to be comfortable with Jansen walking behind him. There's definitely a like he'll move to the other side of the wagon. He'll speed up. He'll slow down. He's not going to let Jansen walk behind him.
Then
How
I will
about I
follow
stay in
him.
between them at some distance? Like it's him and then me and then Jansen.
Can I walk next to him?
Yeah, he'll as long as one of you's walking next to him, he's probably going to be mostly okay.
All right, I'll walk next to him.
All right, you make your way across the wood bridge through yada through the forest. You pass a set of geysers, one of which definitely sticks out as more significant than the others, and make your way up the so that would be the Scorch of the Red Worm. And eventually you find your way weeding through a forest that was probably once very rich with trees and animals, now more or less forgotten and abandoned. The natural trees break into a failed apple orchard. And at the top of the hill past that, you can see a manor house. Your map has led you to what remains of a small home. Well, small manor, small castle. It's midday, and the ravens that are perching are watching as you pass. As you start to approach the house, you can see several gatherings of them perching on trees, fluttering up onto the rooftops, and watching as you approach it. I'm going to check for one thing before I do anything else here, if I can find the right tab. Because I bloody know I have it here somewhere.
And there was nothing on the front of that. Because I got a book called The Book of the Raven.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing on the like no symbols or anything on the front of that, or
No.
okay.
As you make your way past the geysers and have an opportunity to look through the book appears to be a handwritten journal, self-maintained. The first several pages detail someone's adventures as they are exploring. I'm sorry, start that over. Start with someone breaking their leg and detailing the events in which they were discovered by a group of traveling, group of nomads that took them in and gave her a home while she could recover. The author traveled with these nomads who called themselves the Stani for several months. And every few pages, there's another poem or another song, another story, and multiple references to ravens and fog.
How do you spell Stani?
Vistani, V-I-S-T-A-N-I. There's a chapter dedicated to the rough, talking about one particular pass of rough roads.
Anything reminiscent of the landmarks that we've seen?
Sadly, no. As you get towards the end of the book, hoping to find such, it continues with there's a story of a very bright and exciting festival that her saviors, for lack of better, benefactors, held. There's a section towards the end of that chapter where she details that she's no longer using crutches to move about. There's then, towards the last few pages, it describes a massive, dark, brooding castle that her benefactors had come to. The last page begins to detail the meeting of the master of the castle and then stops abruptly with a pen smear across the page, where the ink has been dragged and the quill has been snatched.
He doesn't mention the name of the master of the castle?
Nope. And the last 3 pages of the journal are blank.
I'm going to relay all this information to Show when I can.
Have I
Secretly.
I wonder if I've come across any stories like this.
Yeah. Just kind of away from Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't trust Jerry, all right?
Down,
I can
by the
distract
way.
him.
Eyes
Want to see
locked.
my rapier? I like your rapier. Looks well made.
And folks paying attention at home, that actually I think was Mir's attempt to flirt.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was a rapier wit.
Just gonna put that out
Ember's
there.
hair grows into a tower of fire.
I just want to say, why does the monk never get to flirt?
I don't know. Why does the monk
Have you
never-
We
noticed
gotta
this?
find you someone to flirt with.
Have you noticed this?
Who would be
Are you-
Jansen's type?
are
I
you
feel
sure
like it's
following-
easier to see the other people's types.
That's true.
I'll just put this out there. If you're hoping it's going to be Gerald, you probably shouldn't have tried to kill him.
Thank
Maybe
Boys
that-
are icky.
maybe that is Jensen's way to flirt. Yeah, boys are cute.
Boys are icky.
Yeah, we'll find somebody for you.
On that
So-
note, yes, you may have heard similar stories of castles and such. The Vistanier name is a name you probably have heard before from some stories.
Mm-hmm.
But as you reread the last few pages of the journal that describes this massive castle that rises up almost out of the mists, you look in front of you at this 4-story manor sitting in a forgotten stretch of mud, and appreciate the sheer difference between the 2 homes.
All right.
That said, the map led you here to treasure. Perhaps there is something within to be discovered, which we're going to have to find next time.
Next time.
Ah, I can't believe it's after 10.
I know.
I know.
Wednesdays go too fast.
It
They
goes
do.
way too fast. I was like, oh, it's probably like what, 9:15.
Well, that's when we got to that break. It's like, well, I could probably say, let's just go run off really quick. But I was like, wow, it's 9 o'clock already. And we will not start late next time. I swear. I will start pre-show at 5.
It wasn't a big deal, was
That'll
it?
give me
fine.
2
Accidents
hours to
happen.
get sure my computer is up and running and locked in. And I would love to keep going until we all fall asleep. But the upside of playing on a weeknight is we're less likely to have like family things prop up to say we can't get together. The downside is most of us have to be up at some decent hour in the morning for that thing that pays the bills and keeps the lights on. So that is
also,
unfortunately where we fall.
We have, let's see, we have 4 more D&D sessions before we may need to figure out an alternative schedule.
Okay.
I will be 6 hours ahead of most of you.
We will burn that bridge when we reach it.
But I want to keep going. If we can find an alternative time and day. that
Yes,
works for
I
everyone.
definitely want to find
one.
a way. Yeah,
I do not doubt it. It might.
I am willing to move my schedule.
We might need a week off till I can get to summer break, but we will find
Yeah.
a way to make it happen. We
Good, I'm
absolutely
loving this,
will.
so I don't want to.
I know, this is
Lose
so
it.
fun. You guys are fun to play with.
No, we'll make it work.
It is. fun.
Jansen's attitude is a bit much sometimes, but
but
I love Jensen's attitude. It's
I was gonna say,
fantastic.
I kind
It's
of
awesome.
love it.
It's awesome, and I appreciated you tonight. I thought that the demons have become a wonderful tool to use, and it was fun to watch. As a demon, it was fun to watch you process the oh crap. The demons are making a very compelling point about them not wanting me around anymore.
it's like they're in my head, and so like it's me talking to me, and I'm very persuasive.
Plus, I feel like it makes for moments where, like, we can, like, have more character building like relationships with each other because we're all
Yeah.
like stepping in to try to
Stop
help.
killing people for 5 seconds.
But it's like we're also trying to figure out why. I feel like all of us want to help. So I feel like it brings us together.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a giveaway.
Well, I've got these
Players
stickers to.
join?
We
Are,
got in there. I want to give my
players
stickers out.
allowed?
So,
Yes.
and,
Are
and
Also, I
players
do want to
allowed?
hear what Jansen's. What would Jansen's type be?
What is Jensen's?
I know.
I want to know.
I'm very
Preferably
interested.
another elf would be nice. Long hair or short hair doesn't matter. Preferably strong-willed and of the female in nature would be nice as well.
Personality.
Definitely
your
not
personality
Gerald.
yeah, pick that vibe up.
I don't think
Yeah,
Gerald
not
is
Gerald.
any of our types.
Oh, personality.
Gerald
Bubbly.
is giving me the heebie-jeebies sometimes.
Bubbly?
Like the opposite
Bubbly.
of Jansen. Yeah.
I could see
I don't
that.
think I was
Very bubbly.
I feel like
Not like Ember bubbly where it's like I just want to get what I want. Like, which is great. I mean, like, everything
Morning
is
person
so
bubbly?
pretty and it's just so nice. And I just look at the flowers.
Like
The
someone
flowers
super
smell
innocent
good.
that maybe
Yes.
Jansen wants to protect.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's really cute though.
Oh, I like
Yes.
that. That's really sweet.
Yes.
I feel like that's the opposites thing is a little bit of why Mir likes Ember is Ember's just so mind-bogglingly different. And so it's always just kind of like, wait, why did you okay, like just constantly being a little bit confused for Mir, but like in this very pleasant confusion. Like you're doing what now? Okay.
Hey, fire and water create steam.
Ooh la la. Amore.
I feel like we need to find like this like pixie-ish, like adorable
A
elf
pixie!
now for
Yes.
us.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
Oh my god, like an actual
Rainbows and
pixie.
sunshine.
Yes.
We have to
Oh.
rescue a pixie somewhere,
Oh,
right?
wait.
Wait,
Oh.
She's half established.
Wait.
is that a little Tinkerbell?
Aww.
Oh my gosh, it literally is you're describing Tinkerbell.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
kind of.
actually Tinkerbell. Like a little sassy, strong-willed.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But like 50% of the attitude.
He does
Because
have a lot.
that wouldn't work.
That's awesome.
I will
I love it.
file this away.
What about show?
Yeah.
I'm
I
curious.
know.
I
I
don't,
have like a thought in my head, but I want to hear Tiff. What do you?
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Books are your passion.
Books, yeah. I don't. I think she's out to just explore the world and see.
An
Someone
engineer.
who smells
could
of
be nice.
mahogany.
Yeah, probably. A little bit of glue. You know, that binding glue.
Yeah,
Maybe
bow
a good
leather.
ink.
How about
Tall
a
book.
book life shapeshifter person thing? They're
That
a
would be
book,
intriguing.
but they can shapeshift into a person for company when you want it.
Wow. So when I say I can read them like a book, it takes on a whole different meaning.
Oh, what if it was like a wizard who had like a bunch of spell books and he just always smelled like old books?
Okay, that could be fun.
That's cute, and you protect him. Oh, my heart.
Like a little like gnome, like very very small. Because
I can see
all
that.
muscles and
Really
everything that, like,
cute.
she's
I
got to
don't
be
know,
able to
we'll
just
have
pick
to
him up
see.
by like the collar.
I don't know. So I am intrigued because there's nothing in show. I really don't know. So
Well,
it'd
we-
be interesting to see if something comes up.
We can say what her type's not,
Gerald.
Gerald.
clearly.
I just lying storyteller is not really my thing. But I am intrigued by his stories and how many he
Poor
He's
Gerald.
got kind of that bard persona where he's like just
Wow, he's
Not
literally
my kind
done
of bard
nothing.
persona.
Wow.
It's like weird. I'm gonna
Listen,
boost
here's the
Ember
reason
by
I'm
telling her
suspicious
she
of
can-
Gerald. I will say this. For someone who says that he just recently lost his lover, he
Yeah.
seems to be
making some
moving on
moves.
super quickly and like trying to put the moves on
yeah.
people.
well, but we have threatened to kill him at least more than once
Which
already.
makes me more
so he-
suspicious. Why would you hit on someone who tried to kill you?
right?
I don't know if it's yeah. I don't know if he's hitting on you or
Skeezy,
trying to use
weird
his
way.
manner.
Yeah, and
That's
that
what makes me think there's something
suspicious.
else. There's something else going on
Yeah.
with him.
See, this
No,
is
you don't,
why
hit on
this is
somebody
why
by being
Ember
like,
trusts
I'm gonna tell
nobody.
You how to be. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what personality to have. Like, that's weird. It's like, you shouldn't do that. You should be this way. Like, who does that with somebody they just met as a way of flirtation? Oh,
If there's an aspect, there's got to be something else with this guy that he's.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it'll end up
Ember
becoming- I don't
doesn't
know.
handle the flirting well either. That's why she likes Mir, is because Mir is stoic. Everything Ember is not.
Yeah, mere flirting is like, yeah, it's not. I don't even know what that would look like. Probably
the flirting,
What we've seen
it's
so
just-
far.
The
It's
flirting.
just
flirting.
Ember like,
All right.
I put something in your bag. There you go. That's flirting.
If you haven't yet, type !crit in chat so you can get a chance to get a sticker. Because I have them to send out, and I'm really geeked about being able to share these. In fact, Barely Molly and I were talking about another possible giveaway, which we're going to have to move faster on in order to be sure we get a chance to pull it off before we might lose our mirror to some weird schedule changes. So if you haven't had a chance, please do that. That would be really cool. We'll get as many people in there as we can get. And I'll have Nightbot fired off. I don't trust yet the other giveaways I've found. I think I broke my computer with one. So we're just going to have Nightbot pick somebody. So as we kind of wind down tonight, why don't we do a round robin as to what's coming up with everybody this week? And we can take it back the opposite direction. What's coming up in your schedule? Molly, what's coming up this week?
Oh, so I do art streams on the weekend, but it's my birthday on Sunday.
Yay!
Happy early birthday!
Thank you. I think if I can convince him, which I think it'll be easy, me and Mega Dave are gonna play some games on my channel, and then Sunday night I'm joining a D&D game with you. It's like a one-off, two-off kind of like.
It's the
deal.
second half of a one-off, and I
Yeah.
Did you tell me it was your birthday on Sunday?
I think so.
Okay, well then I'm
the
doubly
second,
honored
yeah?
to have you hanging out with me again for D&D.
Yeah. I'm super happy about it. It's quarantine, so I'm not seeing anybody or going out or doing anything, so.
Fair enough. Do you have some fun?
Happy almost birthday.
Yay!
Thank you.
Tiffany, do you have any fun gaming come up this week? I know you've had some crazies happen. Are you going to sneak some
It's
D&D
mostly
around the
stream-
crazies?
Yeah, I've got a D&D game tomorrow. It's not streamed, but we got just kind of an offline one with myself and Wally Nelson there and some friends. And then I know we've got your monthly game coming up, but I don't think we've picked a date yet. So I think at this point it's just that one coming up.
As happens with games that are not as structured as weekly, we're bumping into the, oh yeah, we can do it monthly. And then every week go, oh, but not this weekend.
Well, and I threw you off last weekend, so I think it'll get better as we get. Well, it'll get better or a lot worse as we get closer to summer. Who knows?
We'll have to see. Jesse, anything fun coming up?
Yes, so tomorrow I have a game dev stream and Sunday science stream as usual, but just announced that later in May, and if I can post a link, I will post a link in chat if that's okay, Rob.
Whisper it to me if you can.
Okay, I'll whisper it to you. To the National Air and Space Museum has asked me to speak at one of their events, And so the event's going to be free and virtual and online. Thank you, COVID. But it's going to be on astrophysics and astrology. So they're bringing in like a really prominent writer who writes a lot about astrology, and they're bringing in me. And we're going to have a conversation about the intersection of astronomy and astrology. So it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited for the event. But I will whisper you a link, Rob. So hopefully if that's up your alley, hopefully I'll see you there.
Sweet. And then I know, Linares, you were getting into the Kingdom Hearts. Is there more of that coming this week?
Yeah. So I've never played Kingdom Hearts, and I've never watched anyone play it. So I'm doing my first ever playthrough, and it's a blind playthrough of Kingdom Hearts, which is exciting, and it's also kind of crappy because there are a lot of streamers that I really enjoy watching, and many of them are playing Kingdom Hearts right now, so I can't actually watch them, which sucks. But yeah, so this Sunday I'll be streaming Kingdom Hearts, and then Monday and Tuesday we'll be back to Zelda, and then so every Sunday and Wednesday is going to be Kingdom Hearts, because it was just going to be once a week, and then I started playing it. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I love this so much. So it's Kingdom Hearts Sunday and Wednesday, and then Zelda on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Cool. Kingdom Hearts is one of the few games I have actually gotten through to credits.
So good so far. I'm excited, but no spoilers, please.
It is a ton of fun. Looking to see. Okay, I think I know where we're gonna go from here. Okay, and then for me, it's going to be, as Molly mentioned, Sunday night is my other D&D game, and we're in the process of doing kind of an interlude because we've had some scheduling conflicts. And so she's going to be joining me with another friend of mine that I've played role-playing games with since high school. So they're kind of filling in for the night, and then we're going to have a week off, and then that group is going to finally kick off Curse of Strahd proper, which is really funny that this adventure, the book you find is very clearly a reference to Ravenloft, even though, well, we'll see where it takes us. But it's just kind of neat to see this weird overlap between the two groups. So that's going to be Sunday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't know what I'm streaming at. I know I'll probably be on doing something. But those are usually my more quiet, just kind of gaming or doing planning streams. So thank you for coming out. Nightbot's going to go ahead and grab somebody from everybody tonight, and we'll see what we get. And what did Nightbot say? Nightbot has selected. Oh,
I get a sticker!
You get a sticker.
I never win these things.
Yay!
Yes!
it was for all those bad rolls.
Yes!
It works out.
Finally, the luck has changed.
Fun!
Yay! Don't worry. Well, hey, you know what? As long as I can get enough people to warrant running a giveaway, I'll keep running them.
Keep showing up, friends.
I got plenty. I'm going to keep giving them away. If we hadn't had a late start, I would have done one at the top of the show because, like I said, I got plenty. We're going to go pop in on the Reluctant Hermit, who is currently up tonight. He plays a ton of great stuff. He's almost always delving into some kind of an RPG. So I love sending people over to him after our D&D games. He's just an amazing content creator. I love everything he does. I wish I had more time to hang out on his channel. But there's only so many hours in the day. So that's unfortunately where that's at. Please, if you had a good time hanging out tonight, check out these amazing content creators, either here over on Twitch or over on the Facebook. They are just amazing people that I am so lucky volunteered to hang out with me once a week to play a game and swear at digital dice, because that's kind of what we're all here for.
I can't believe I rolled so badly today. Yes.
It was pretty bad. It was hard to watch. I had to look away a couple of times.
It was so bad. I think I rolled 3 natural ones today.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you for the cheers. Thank you, Esteki, if you're still here, for resubscribing. It's been great having you as part of the family, and for everything else that you've brought to this and all the support that you guys have shown. Hopefully we can keep doing these D&D games, and maybe we'll add another one in here somewhere, or who knows? Wednesday night might still be a game, and you'll see this group on a different day when we get our schedules to work. But either way, have a good time with the Reluctant Hermit. Please continue to stay safe. We all want to play D&D together with real dice sometime soon.